So Britt says yes, like non-monogamy by default should be ethical and consensual, because is the alternative
unethical non-monogamy, which I think is what most of us are exposed to when we think of non-monogamy. It's like, someone cheating, someone, and which is by definition, you're like lying to this person. You have to kind of be surreptitious. You kind of, and even if it's like an open thing, you still have to I want him to be my friend, and I would tell my friend about this hot sexual encounter that I had.
Here's what I think. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Here's what I think the big non-monogamy includes monogamy, yo.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just be close it up. Sometimes we are monogamous for a period.
Yeah.
And other times not. Non-monogamy is not even a condition. It's a conversation around the thing. So it's
it's an ongoing, conversation and agreement, and
that's the thing about it.
We don't have to be you said then that was the thing.
Exactly. Based on honesty and ethics. So the problem with what you're saying, monogamy should be ethical too. It can be ethical, but it's a condition that has some strictures to it that don't allow for a conversation to happen,
Yeah.
And it makes it awkward. It has moral potential punishments and things like this attached that disincentivize honesty. So the point is to just create incentives for nonstop honesty. And it's always going to be from love. A safe space. Honesty sucks sometimes, but it's always from love, and so you can always figure it out, rather than to shut it down.
And if I love you, you're my friend. I don't want to control you. I don't own you. No one owns another person. So I people often say, I couldn't be non-monogamous. I don't like to share. He doesn't belong to me. He's not mine to divide up, But if I do feel jealous, which I haven't, because we've been so honest about things. But early on I was I guess in the abstract, I am kind of you're an awesome person in all the ways, and I really like hanging out with you, and I, am a little, afraid that maybe one day when you fully realize how dope you are, you're gonna get tired of me. You're not gonna want me anymore. And I'll be sad, but also I want what's best for you. I don't want anyone to stay with me out of pity that I said we had to do it, and since you're such a dope person, you were oh my God, I would never do that, which I love. I know you're not, and I know I'm awesome, so you wouldn't anyway, but I don't want you to think that
No, I get the premise of it, but I also don't like the thought of it at the same time. I get the intellectual exercise, and I agree. I have the same view on you. You know what I'm saying? I get that. It's for real. Take love and the extension of it, and the idea that you want this person to be exactly what's best for them, even if you're not in the equation.
Yeah.
Then you include that, and so I can intellectualize that. But I also think it just sucked. And when you said that, I think primarily I want you to know that there's nothing to worry about on that at all. I love you so much.
I love you so much. You're so dope.
But
that's
the
other thing too. Billy's awesome. So he's a tough act to follow. So and I am I work on myself a lot and do things. So I am in a position to see him fully and know that I'm just gonna be self-destructive and go fuck any guy that wants to come around. No. Honestly, most dudes are kind of lame. Not your fault. It's just we haven't demanded that you be interesting or funny or kind or well off or someone I can take around my family. But
damn, Sheebs.
Sorry,
Jesus.
Most of the women I know are just exponentially cooler than a lot of the men I've met.